brave. The word brave hasn't sat right in my mouth since that day. We brought her home. We gave her the name we had chosen in the yellow nursery. We took photographs and sent them to family and received flowers at the door. Life assembled itself around the lie with terrifying efficiency. And I smiled through all of it. And I rocked her to sleep. And I told myself that I had done this for her, for the healthy life she deserved, for the stability I wasn't sure I could give to a sick child. I told myself 1,000 different versions of a justification that never once fully held. People talk about guilt like it's a single thing, a weight, a shadow. They don't tell you about the texture of it, how it sits differently in different seasons, how it is quiet during ordinary mornings and completely unbearable at 3 a.m., how it sounds like a lullaby when you're singing to one child and thinking about another. My daughter is 2 now. She is funny and stubborn and obsessed with dogs. She lines up her toys in very specific orders and screams if you move them. She calls my husband Dadasun. We have no idea why. She is in every way that matters, mine. And that is exactly the problem. Because the fact that I love her fully, genuinely, without reservation, that does not undo what I did to get here. It doesn't cancel the equation. Love is not an erasure. Somewhere, there is a little girl who shares my blood, who has, statistically, some percentage of my face, who may have my tendency to hum while concentrating, or my mother's narrow hands, or the gap between my 2 front teeth. That child was operated on, multiple times, and she went through all of it with a mother who, by every record and every wristband, is her biological mother, but isn't. And I was not there. I did not sit in that waiting room. I did not hold her hand coming out of anesthesia. Some other woman did, a woman who had her own pain about her own switched child, and she did not even know there was anything to be in pain about. Here is the paradox I live inside every day. I am a good mother to the child I am raising. I am patient and present, and I read the same picture books 47 times without complaint. And I am also the person who abandoned a sick newborn in a hospital to save myself from fear. Both of those things are true. They live inside the same body. They share the same heartbeat. I have not found a way to reconcile them, and I am not sure I ever will. This is the part that keeps me awake longest. He is a good man, a genuinely good man, the kind who refills your water glass without being asked, who remembers the names of your co-workers' children, who cried at a dog food commercial once and then laughed at himself about it for a week. He is devoted to our daughter in a way that breaks my heart, because the love he feels for her is real and true, and built on a foundation he doesn't know is hollow. Sometimes he says things like, "She has your eyes," or "She gets her stubbornness from your side." And each time, I have to hold my expression perfectly still. I have to smile at precisely the right angle. I have become very skilled at holding expressions perfectly still. I think about telling him. I think about it with a frequency that would alarm him if he knew. I have written the opening sentence of a confession letter 7 times and deleted it 7 times. I know that telling him would most likely end our marriage. I know that it would cause him a grief for which there is no adequate preparation. And I know that not telling him is its own ongoing cruelty, a daily decision to let him live inside a story I know to be false. What kind of woman am I that I keep choosing silence? What kind of woman am I that I understand why I do? There are days when I almost believe that the kindest thing is to stay quiet. That unraveling this would cause more harm than it would heal. That the children involved would only be traumatized by the truth. I have had whole conversations in my head where I construct a convincing argument for permanent silence, and I almost believe it, until I remember that I am building that argument to protect myself, not them. She would be 2 now too. My biological daughter. I don't know where she is. I don't know her name. Whatever name that other family chose for her. I don't know if she is thriving or struggling. I don't know if the surgeries worked the way they were supposed to. I don't know if she is laughing or walking or saying Dada Sun in her own made-up language. And every single time my daughter does something new, takes a step, says a word, grabs my face with both hands, and looks at me with total trust, I feel 2 things at once: joy that is genuine and complete, and grief that is equally genuine and equally complete. Joy for the child in front of me, grief for the one I traded away, like she was a burden rather than a person. She was not a burden. She was mine. She was sick, and she was mine. And I left her in a hospital in Ontario because I was 27 years old and terrified of a broken heart, my daughter's, and if I'm being fully honest, my own. The doctor who drew that diagram on a paper towel was kind. He did not know that his kindness was wasted on someone who had already made a decision she hadn't yet consciously formed. I had already decided, somewhere beneath thought, in the part of the brain